Hi guys, and welcome to the How to Build Muscle and Lose Fat Step-by-Step course tutorial. Before we delve into the course, I want to thank you for choosing me as your mentor, and I hope that you enjoy this course as well as benefit from it from the valuable information I've been able to put together. I want to start off by telling you guys a bit about myself and my experience in this field. I have a BTEC Level 3 Sports Science Extended Diploma which I studied for 2 years at college, as well as studying sports rehabilitation at university for 3 years. So I know all about the body's functions from the skeletal system to the muscular system and how they work together. I'm currently working as a personal trainer as well as being a nutritionist, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to training methods and dieting to reaching your specific goals, whatever they may be. The main question I wanted to answer for you guys today is, why did I create this course? I created this course to help anyone who is confused on this topic of building muscle and losing fat and being able to maintain it. There's a lot of confusion on this topic on the internet of articles saying different things, confusing you guys, and I want to be able to clear the air. And like I said before, in this course I'm going to be able to tell you everything you need to know from building muscle and losing fat to what foods you should be eating and what training methods are best for getting to your ideal body shape. I know you guys are eager to learn, so I'm not going to drag this intro out any longer. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi guys and girls, welcome to the course overview. In this course, I'll be going over the fundamentals for how to build muscle and how to lose fat in the most efficient way possible. Also, I'll be showing you great exercises with perfect technique that you can perform at home if you have no access to a gym, which will help you increase your muscle size or burn fat depending on your goals. All of this will be combined with nutritional guidance as for what to be eating and what to avoid and how to calculate your macronutrients, which is a very important part of what your body needs to either build muscle or lose fat through calculations like determining your body weight, your body type, the amount of exercise you perform weekly, and your weight goals, etc. We'll get into this in more depth further down the line, and you'll be able to understand what I mean. I've split this course into 5 sections to make it easy to follow and understand. I've labelled 5 sections, so you've got the introduction, how to build muscle and how to lose fat, fitness, nutrition, and my personal recommendations like supplements, etc., and my overall fitness recommendations for your overall health and well-being. In each section, I'll provide valuable details that you'll need to really grasp in order to understand the process of being able to gain muscle or lose fat effectively. You'll learn something new every step of the way in this course, and by the end you should have gained some newfound knowledge that you can take with you and then apply to your life to help you reach your personal physical goals, whatever they may be. Well, let's just get to it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Hi guys, and welcome to the How to Build Muscle simplified segment of this course. In this segment, I'm going to break down how you can build muscle in the easiest way possible with little confusion. Even though the process of building muscle is simple and logical, there's way too much confusion when it comes to this particular topic due to contradictory all over the internet with people saying different things and articles also saying different things. So I'm going to simply clear this up for you and teach you exactly how you can build muscle effectively. Building muscle isn't an easy walk in the park by all means though, but I'm going to break it down step by step what happens exactly when you're trying to build muscle. From personal experience, the best way to build muscle is to use this formula. And the formula is train hard, get plenty of calories, and get enough rest, which will result in you building muscle effectively. It's easier said than done, but if you follow this super simple structure, then you'll have no problem in building muscle through being consistent and dedicated. When you work out at the gym or at home, wherever it may be, you're always putting your muscles under stress. This stress causes your muscle fibers to tear, and it's then when your body needs calories in order to repair itself and build new muscle tissue. Let's look at the muscle building plan in more detail quickly. So first things first, when you train, whether this be at the gym or at home, like I said before, if you don't put your muscles under stress, then they won't adapt, meaning that they won't have to grow. There are many ways to train, and I'll go over the 2 different types of training further down the line in the course, which is hypertrophy training and strength training, and the differences between them. The second part of the muscle building plan is diet. This is the most important part from my personal experience. You can train as hard as you want, but if you do not supply your body with energy, for example, like carbs and protein and healthy fats, your body will not be able to naturally repair itself, meaning you won't be able to build muscle. You need to provide your body with enough calories in order for it to build muscle tissue. This is a process, and this process is called being in a calorie surplus. I'll explain more about this in a topic under the nutrition segment of this course in more detail for you to understand. It's simply just you need to be able to take more calories in than you burn out. If you look at this picture here, you'll be able to see we've got a little a balance equation. And if you were to, here's an example, if you take in the same calories as you expend, you'll maintain weight. If you take less calories than you expend, you'll lose weight. And if you take in more calories than you burn, you'll gain weight. This is called being in a calorie surplus, and this is what you need in order to build muscles. You need to eat more than you expend daily. It's that simple. You need to provide your body with enough calories in order for it to build more muscle tissue. And like I said, I'll go further into this, further down the line in the course when we get into the the nutrition section of the course. Now, I cannot stress enough this third point: sleep / rest. I cannot stress how important rest is. Your body doesn't build muscle while working out or while being active. It needs time to rest in order to create new muscle tissue, predominantly when you're sleeping, like I said before. This is why rest is so important when it comes to building muscle effectively. You need to be getting at least 8 hours of sleep minimum per day in order to supply your body with enough time to repair and build. If you're getting under 8 hours per day or struggle to sleep, then I highly recommend that you take naps throughout the day to give your body that important time period where it can build muscle. Not only is rest good for building muscle, but it's good for your overall health. Rest can be a turning point for your performance while working out. Trust me, I know. If you don't get enough rest from staying up, whether that be staying up late tonight or going out for a drink, whether it be with your friends the night before, then you'll feel tired and you'll basically feel lethargic throughout the day. This can have a negative effect on your performance, and this is the last thing you want to happen, trust me. Hi guys, and welcome to the How to Lose Fat Quickly segment of this course. In this topic, I'm going to break down the science behind how to lose fat. Losing fat is also something people are confused about, like I've spoken about in my previous segment about how to build muscle. And there's a lot of different things and different opinions being said of how to lose it quickly and different strategies, but I'm just going to break it down plain and simple for you guys so you understand the exact process for how to lose fat and how to lose it quickly if you're looking to get into great shape. All right, now the first step on how to lose fat is pretty simple. You've got to be able to calculate your calorie intake. It takes 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound of fat. That's a fact, guys. So if you're looking to lose, for example, let's say 2 pounds of fat per week, then the treadmills, it's not going to cut it for you guys. You've got to be doing vigorous exercise as well. You need to be doing a combination of things, not just exercise and calculating calories, but you need to be doing exercise that contains resistance training, cardiovascular training, combined with obviously a well-structured diet plan, which we'll go into now. So moving more specifically onto the diet side of things, you need to find out what your calorie intake should be through calculations that you can get online, like working out your macronutrient intake. It's all free online. There's loads of different websites, and further down into the course I'll show you how to do that. The basis of this is so that you can figure out how your body needs, what your body needs to maintain weight, and then from there you can start cutting the amount of calories you take in. So normally cutting about 500 calories per day will result in a total of 3,500 calories less per week, which should help you reaching a goal of losing 1 pound of fat per week. Like I said before, you have to combine this with your training, and training is very important. But this is equally just as important, if not more important, guys. If you're not calculating your calories and what your body needs to maintain weight and what your body needs to lose weight, then you're wasting your time. You can train as much as you want, but unless you've got this down to a T, you're not going to be able to lose fat as quick as you want to. If anything, you might be doing the opposite. You might have the opposite effect. You might be eating too much unless you calculate it. You can't just go off guessing, guys, from what you've been eating. You've got to calculate it. All right, so moving on to training. This is just equally as important. Like I said, you need to be training insane or remain the same. It's that simple. It's my favourite saying: train insane or remain the same. Too many people just expect to lose like significant amounts of weight by just being in a calorie deficit, which is a negative way of thinking. You need to be working multiple muscle groups out vigorously to help shred that fat if you're looking to get in phenomenal shape. For example, like here's an example. A bicep curl versus a preacher curl. So a standing bicep curl versus a preacher curl. The difference is between an isolate movement and a compound movement. All right. So in a preacher curl, you're predominantly just working out your bicep. It's an isolated movement. It's specifically to target your biceps. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you compare it to a standing bicep curl, Standing bicep curl requires you to work your biceps as well as keeping your core tight to maintain balance, pulling your shoulders back and keeping your legs slightly bent. This is called a compound movement. A compound movement is something that works out several muscle groups at once. So if you're looking to lose fat, the best bet is to do compound exercises. I'm not saying isolates are bad. I'm just saying it's simple science. The more muscle groups you engage, the more calories you burn. It's plain and simple. So if you're looking to shred fat quicker than just casually just being on a calorie deficit, obviously, one, you've got to work out, and two, if you're working out, make sure you're doing exercises that will benefit you even more. So stay away from the isolates. You can do them, but make sure you get the fundamentals in, the compound movements in, that work out multiple muscle groups and help you burn that fat and sweat more. Now, lastly, the last point into losing fat quickly, I'm going to talk about the main thing you need to lose. You need to lose your negative attitude. That's one thing. And combine that with consistency, you've got a winner there, guys. Like, nothing takes place of hard work and consistency. You must be consistent in order to achieve your goals. And if you're going to start dieting and training but then stop after 1 week, then there's no point in fooling yourself, guys. You need to have your head in the game. Losing fat consistently is a tough mental battle. It's very hard. It's very what's the word? It's very demanding on the body, and there's always been moments when I've been on a diet and you feel lethargic and you feel like you're not getting enough food. You feel hungry. You feel like you want to eat that chocolate bar, but you've got to never give up. You've got to keep track of what you're doing, guys, and remember the end goal of what you want. Here, set goals, keep track of what you're doing, and never give up, guys. They're my 3 most important points that you need to stick to. So make sure you keep prepared throughout your diet plan and your workouts, and you're onto a winner to losing fat quickly. Hi guys and girls, welcome to the segment of can you build muscle and lose fat at the same time. In this segment I'm pretty much just going to break down the science behind it almost, just basically, and I'll make it as quick as possible, you guys, with little confusion. I get asked this question a lot, if you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time, and it's not a bad question. It's actually a good question. And a lot of people say you can't, because in order to build muscle you need to be in a calorie surplus. In order to lose fat you need to be in a calorie deficit. But you can do both of them at once, guys, and I'm here to tell you how it can be done. So let's go on to the topic of calorie surplus versus calorie deficit, and which one should you be in. I want to make sure I get this right for you guys. So there's lots of if, buts and maybes out there, and the fact is it is possible to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. Not everyone can do it. And not everyone can do it to the same degree due to different metabolisms and people's bodies reacting different ways to different stimuli, etc. But here's how you go about doing it. So the first most important step is to put yourself in a calorie deficit. You need to be in a calorie deficit to lose fat and build muscle. You need to be in a calorie deficit, guys. And that's just from cutting your calories down from what your normal calorie intake is for maintaining weight. Like I said like I've mentioned in the how to lose fat segment of this course. So you just need to cut the amount of calories down that you're taking in. You guys will remember this graph here. So in order to lose weight, you need to be burning more calories than you're putting into your body, and therefore you'll lose weight. But in terms of building muscle as well, people say you can't build muscle like this. Well, actually, you can build muscle like this. Obviously not to a significant amount as much as you can as being in a calorie surplus, but you can build muscle in this. You can build lean muscle by being in a calorie deficit. There are lots of different ways to achieve that, but the main point is when you're in a calorie deficit and your body's looking for fuel to build new, more lean muscle, it looks for a second source of energy. And that energy will come in the form of fat, what your body's naturally already got. So once it's realised it's run out of the calories you're giving to it, you're starving it of the calories it normally needs to maintain weight, it will then start digging into its second source, which is digging for that extra fat that you've got around your body, whether that, all over your body, wherever fat is stored. And then it will use that energy from burning that fat to help create building new muscle. As long as, obviously, you've got to be combining this with, training. When you're providing your body with less energy, your body finds it harder, to move blood, pump it around all over the body and break down and synthesize new muscle protein, along with all other stuff involving you keeping you alive, the body's functions. But when you're in a calorie deficit, there is the gap between the amount of fuel your body needs and the amount it gets from the food, because you're depriving it of that almost, because you want to lose the extra pounds of fat. So it starts looking for something to fill in that gap, and in most cases that something will be a large pool of chemical energy, like aka fat, stored in your body. The answer to the question overall is yes, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time, guys. It is a difficult procedure, and it's not easy to be done. I'm not saying it's easy by any means, but it is possible, guys, and it's been proven in many studies, like from universities and scientists. It can be done. You can lose fat and build muscle at the same time if you want to. It does have different effects depending on if you're a beginner, for example, in looking into the fitness industry. Beginners tend to they build muscle a lot quicker than people who've been going to the gym for years. They find it hard to build muscle. So it does vary for different people, but that only comes with experience and how long you've been doing it. But regardless of however long you've been working out or been dieting for, it is possible, guys. Hi guys, and in this segment I'm going to quickly talk about, can you build muscle or lose fat through home workouts? So firstly, we're going to talk about the benefits and the negatives of working out at home. So let's jump into it. So what are the benefits of working out at home? 1, there's no membership fee like there would be at a gym. 2, it eliminates the travelling to the gym. 3, it's more convenient, so if you've just had a hard day's work and you haven't got time to go to a gym, it might be more convenient for you to work out at home. And 4, there's no queuing to use gym equipment. So for example, if you're at the gym, there's been many times where you might be waiting to use a particular machine and you have to wait for someone to finish their sets and reps, and all you want to do is get your exercise done and leave the gym as soon as possible. Now, what are the negatives of working out at home? 1, you need to use your imagination to maintain interest in your training. So this is very important. This is a key point, and I'll get back to that later on in this video. 2, it can become demotivating training alone. 3, you're likely to be better suited to equipment at the gym. And what I mean by this is there's going to be equipment at the gym that might isolate muscles better than a particular exercise at home. And 4, there's no social aspect. And I put for some in brackets because some like to be by themselves and get through their workout as quick as possible, whereas others like to take their time and speak to people, have the social aspect like being at a gym. So that might be a negative of working at home for someone like that. Now, going back to that point I said about having a good imagination of being at the gym because you've got to be inventive with your exercises, this brings me on to this example of a push-up. So here I've got, there's a guy doing a wide grip push-up. He's trying to train triceps, and he doesn't know what to do once he's, he's doing 12, 15 reps easy, and he's just doing it over and over again every day, working out at home, whatever it may be. So what does he do? What can you do? This is where you've got to implement the progressive overload principle into your session, guys. As well as I told you about doing it in the gym, you've got to do it if you're at home as well. So you've got to make it more difficult and more demanding on the body, so you get a response for it to stimulate, protein synthesis in order for you to grow if you want to gain size. Or if you're trying to lose weight, you want to, look to get those reps in, get your heart pumping as fast as possible. Stuff like HIIT training is very good for that because it gets your heart pumping as fast as possible, and then you have like short breaks, and it's good to, burn fat really quickly. But moving back onto, how can you improve an exercise, progress to a different exercise. So you've got a wide grip push-up here if you're training triceps, and if you want to make it harder, an example might be you might want to go to a diamond push-up because that will isolate your triceps more. And if you find then you're getting to 12 to 15 reps of that and you're finding it easy after a few weeks, then what do you do then? Well, it's simple. You can decrease the rest period, you can alter the exercise, and what I mean by that is you can, when you're going down chest to the floor of a diamond push-up, you might count to 5 and you might go down slowly and explode up, change the dynamics of the exercise for your benefit. And it's all about benefiting it to suit your needs, guys. Whatever your goals may be, whether it's to lose fat or build muscle, you need to alter the exercise to benefit you. So there's many variations you can do of different exercises. It's all about implementing that progressive overload principle in order to get the best out of your sessions at home. So if you're going to work out at home, make sure you're inventive with your exercises and make sure you push yourself to the limits where you know you're going to make progression quickly and efficiently. Hi guys and girls, welcome to the progressive overload segment of this course. In this course I'm basically going to go over what progressive overload is and how you should be implementing it into your workouts, whether they be at the gym or at home, in order for you to see improvements, whether that be on strength, whether that be getting more toned, whether that be increasing muscle size, whatever it may be, so it can benefit you the most way possible, most efficient way possible even. Let's get straight into it. So when you're trying to create the most effective workout routine possible, your goal is to use your frequency, your schedule, the intensity, the volume, and obviously your exercise selection as the optimal tool possible so you can achieve your goal. And if you do that correctly, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the best results you can, right? Well, that would be true, but unless, of course, if you happen to miss one important component out of that, which matters the most, which is progressive overload. This is like progressive overload. It's a component that can turn the most perfect workout program into a waste of time, a load of garbage, useless. It makes or breaks your workout. Progressive overload is absolutely key for a successful workout program, and I'm going to tell you why. Alright, so the progressive overload principle. The human body, when you put in it, when you're going to the gym, whether you're working out at home or either, its function, your body's goals is to keep you alive. Its main goal is to keep you alive, keep you functioning in the most beneficial and efficient way it can, and that goes by the means of whatever it can do to keep you alive. It will carry on doing that, and if it's sustaining it, it will be happy. It will be happy as Larry there, unless you change, unless you force it to come out of its comfort zone. Your body only knows how to, like I said, keep you alive and keep you functioning. So, it's vital that when you're training and working out to try and lose fat or build muscle, that you apply progressive overload into your workouts. Because otherwise it will just stay in its comfort zone, and you'll never see improvements. You'll just be consistently, casually working out, casually going by, not really improving, not really lifting more weight, not really losing the fat you wanted to lose, etc. So the only way your body will change is by you creating an environment that proves to your body that these changes and improvements must be made. Another way to put it is your body will not change or improve unless you force it to. No matter how perfect your workout is, muscle will not be built, strength won't be gained, your performance won't be enhanced unless you show your body that these are things that need to happen in order for it to survive. So here's an example in a picture. Like, you put the load in, it adapts, and then it will stay at that level unless you increase the load again, and then it will adapt again, and then you increase the load. It's literally like that. It's a platform to build on. Progressive overload principle. Okay, so what is the principle for progressive overload? So in order for your body's muscles to grow, performance to enhance, strength to increase, then the human body must be forced to adapt to a tension that is of higher demand than it has ever experienced before. So what does this mean exactly? It means if you lift the same weights or do the same amount of reps that you've been doing for 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever it may be, nothing will ever happen. Your body will never have to change or improve in any way. You will only maintain your current state. But however, if you increase the demands that you're placing on your body by increasing the weight that you're lifting at the gym, or changing the exercise that you're doing at home, making them harder, more difficult, so it shocks the body, then it will increase the demand on the body, and the body will have to meet that demand. So then your body will have no other choice but to make the necessary changes and improvements that will allow it to adapt to this environment and remain capable of performing the tasks. So basically, you can't keep lifting the same weights and consistently keep doing it and staying comfortable. Don't keep performing the same exercises or the same amount of repetitions. You've got to change it. You've got to shock the body, because if you keep doing the same thing for a sustained period of time, your body will reach that level, and then it will just maintain the muscle that it's got, maintain the fat that you've got, or maintain the form that you've got. It will maintain it, so it will never be forced to improve. So by changing your workload or the intensity that you're working at, you're then forcing your body to adapt, and adapt is the key word here, guys. You want your body to adapt, so then you can increase the workload again. in order for you to tell your body that it needs to survive. So you need to tell your body to adapt, to make improvements, so they can keep up with the physical work that you throw at it in the gym or at home. So you're basically giving your body no other solution but to make adjustments. And these changes and improvements and adaptations, if that's what you want to call it, they'll come in the form of more muscle, increased strength, getting more toned, losing fat quickly, or enhanced performance. Whatever your goals may be, that's what progressive overload will create for you. That's what the adjustments will create for you. They'll create these 5 bullet points that I've got here, depending on, like I said, what your goals are. So I'll give you an example of progressive overload being used here. Let's pretend, let's just say you can lift 20 kilos, for example. Say you're doing a dumbbell bench press, and you're lifting 20 kilos. So you could be lifting that for 3 sets of 8 reps. Now, if you continue to lift that same 20 kilos for those same 3 sets of 8 reps for the next, let's say, 10 years, you won't see any new muscle or strength at all. Why? Because there was no progressive overload. Your body is already adapted to this tension. So once it's already reached that level, it's already provided you with exactly how much muscle you'll need and how much strength you'll need, and able to perform this task on a regular basis. Because you aren't increasing the demands being placed on your body, you're not going to see your body change or make any further improvements, and that's because you're not, implementing progressive overload. So when you're planning your workouts, when you're creating a diet, when you're creating new exercise that you do, whatever it may be to do with working out, or you've got to apply the principle of progressive overload if you want to increase. Once you've got to your level, that's fine. You don't have to do it anymore. You can stay at the level. Once you've reached your body goals, once you've reached the perfect state of what you want your body to look like, then you don't have to apply the progressive overload principle anymore. But until you're at that level, you must apply it, because you'll never see progression, hence the name progressive overload. You need to provide your body with a stimuli that triggers it to grow in the way you want it to, in order to reach your goals and get the outcome you want. Hi guys, and in this segment I'm going to quickly talk about the differences between hypertrophy training versus strength training. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so what are the differences? Well, hypertrophy training is designed to induce maximum muscle damage for size gains, which increases strength potential. The rep range you'll be looking for is between 15 to 20. You'll be having much shorter rest period, between 1 to 2 minutes, and using lighter weights or moderate exercise in order to get 15 to 20 reps out of. Whereas strength training is designed to use your ability to use your muscles at maximum capacity to lift the heaviest amount of weight as possible. The rep range is between 4 and 6. You'll be having a longer rest period, between 3 to 5 minutes, and you'll obviously be lifting heavier weights or making the exercises harder if you're training at home. So what do both train? Well, hypertrophy training, aka high volume training as I like to call it, is used for increasing muscle size. It also helps increase your heart rate, and it helps decrease your body fat. That's why when you see professional bodybuilders or fitness models getting ready for a competition, rarely will you see them do any sort of strength training. It's all hypertrophy training. Why? Because hypertrophy training means higher volume, higher reps, high amount of sets, giving you that pump feeling while also keeping their heart rate high, allowing them to burn fat with their metabolism being in overdrive. Hypertrophy training basically creates micro tears in your muscle. With that high amount of volume, that amount of stress you're putting your muscles under, creates micro tears in your muscle fibers, causing them to grow, causing them to get bigger. Now, moving on to strength training, which I like to call lower volume training, the overall goal is to increase your overall strength. You're lifting in less volume and you're lifting much heavier weight compared to hypertrophy training. This is why you see professional bodybuilders strength train when they want to bulk and add some overall size to themselves. So strength training helps keep their heart rate much lower so they don't lose so much fat, which means their metabolism will not go into overdrive. So essentially they want to add to their size what they've already got. So the key components to increasing, your strength is low volume on your repetitions and increasing your weight load, also known as progressive overload, which we've already talked about, guys, and having longer rest periods. And like I said, in strength training, your rest periods is going to be between 3 to 5 minutes, which is a long enough time frame for your body to recover from the exercise set that you just completed. So in essence, the muscle is damaged during the exercise set itself, and the extended rest periods in between sets allow for the muscle to overcompensate in its repair efforts, making fibers stronger but not necessarily larger, where they would in hypertrophy training, where you're training in much higher volume and your rest period is much shorter. I hope this cleared the air for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hi guys, in this video I just wanted to give you a brief talking on being able to keep a strong mind in order to reach your fitness goals. Now, a lot of people go off track here, and this is where people give up, and they'll never be able to reach their potential and what they want to achieve. The main point is be patient, guys. When you're on your diet and your gym program or your home workouts, whatever you're doing, just Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing's going to happen instantly. You have to work to get what you want. Make sure you stay on track by setting goals and targets, because you can tick these off and it takes you that goal that you complete gets you a step closer to reaching your overall goal, your overall target. So by setting smaller goals, you will eventually reach your main goals. And if you don't, you'll just start thinking about the possibilities of what if, and you don't want that, guys. Second, be consistent. Don't take the easy route. So if you're starting to find it hard and you're getting demotivated, just like if you're feeling like you want to quit, remember why you started, guys. Remember why you started this journey. It'd be such a shame for you to throw it away because you're struggling to be able to keep up with it and keep up with the tempo of your routines, or being able to keep up with the strict diet that you must be on in order to achieve your goal. So make sure, guys, if you're going to start a gym program or a fitness program, any sort of model, make sure you go into it with an open mind, strong mind, and keep on track of your work, guys. Keep setting goals, keep achieving your targets, because one day you will get there and you'll really be thankful for why you started and why you kept the grind going. Hi guys, and in this segment I'm going to talk about the importance of sleep. So you guys probably all understand how important it is to have your rest days as a part of your fitness routine, but have you guys ever considered how much sleep you get every day can affect your overall performance? Well, sleep is important for both mental and physical health, helping you relax, de-stress, and repair your body. But if you don't get enough sleep, your workouts can be affected. And that's why you see like the top athletes, they get more sleep than others because they're working so hard. So they need to repair their body for similar amounts of time so they don't injure themselves. It's a great injury prevention, believe it or not. So getting that extra hour at night or having a nap in a day can really help improve performance, as well as keep your body in the fittest possible state. Being active during the day, making sure you have a good night's sleep, can also boost your energy levels for the next day, allowing you to continue with your normal routine. However, without sleep, your energy levels will be heavily reduced, and this can build up over a period of time if you're not getting enough sleep, and it can really affect on how your body works and how it functions throughout the day, whether that be at work or at the gym. So make sure you have a fair amount of sleep depending on how much you work during the day, guys. Getting enough sleep allows also your glycogen levels in your body to increase, and this will then be built onto the glycogen from your food that you eat. And glycogen is important for many reasons, such as for your stamina and keeping your body in healthy shape. Without it, your body can truly suffer, as glucose won't turn to energy. And when you need energy, working out at the gym, and you don't have it, then your workout can be hugely effective, and your motivation can also be hugely affected, and your workout can go upside down. So sleep is needed to help your brain concentrate. It helps aid recovery of fatigue, and when at the gym or during workouts, here's an example: hand-eye coordination is very important. So if you're tired, you won't perform to the best of your abilities. So this means that you won't get the satisfaction from working out, making it super unenjoyable and something you don't want to do. But if you get enough sleep, you can help prevent this. But don't let it get to that, guys. I'm telling you, improve your quality of sleep. You need to make sure you're getting at least 8 to 9 hours, which is a recommended guideline. But I recommend at least getting a minimum of 8 hours to help you, carry out your activities for the next day. Hi guys, and in this segment I'm going to talk about how you should be calculating your macronutrients. So let's get straight into it. So firstly, step one, we need to find out what your resting energy expenditure is, also known as REE. And then after we find that, we then need to find out what your total daily energy expenditure is, TDEE. And then we're going to follow up this simple formula that I've got written down here. So what is resting energy expenditure? Well, all this means is how many calories you burn when you're doing nothing all day. Literally when you're, hence the word resting, when you're resting, how many calories are you burning? And then once we get that number, we are then going to find out how many calories you are burning due to exercise, depending on how vigorous it is, to then be able to multiply that number and figure out how many calories you are burning, including your sessions at the gym. So here's the equation. It will be 10 times your weight in kilograms plus 6.25 times your height in centimeters minus 5 times your age in years plus 5. That will give us your REE, your resting energy expenditure. So for example, let's say a male who weighs 70 kilos, who's 174 centimeters, who's 22 years of age. We put that into the equation and we get an REE of 1,672.5. Now what does this number mean? Well, this number means that on this guy's day off, when he's completely resting doing nothing, he burns a total of 1,672.5 calories doing absolutely nothing. Now, after finding out this number, we then need to find out how many calories he's burning at the gym. But this is all dependent on how vigorous the activity he may be performing. So there's 4 different categories: sedentary, light, moderate, and very active. And depending on which one we choose, the higher the amount of calories you're going to burn. So for example, a sedentary, a normal daily activity is literally going to be like walking, going up the stairs, talking, etc. Not doing much, but just doing the basics. And then light is any activity that burns up to 200 to 400 calories for females and 250 to 500 calories for men. And then there's moderate, which is anything that adds an additional 400 to 600 calories burnt for females and 500 to 800 calories for men. And then there's very active, which is anything that burns an additional 650 plus calories for females and 800 calories for men. So once you've figured which category you're in, you can then get your REE. So in this case, for this guy, it's 1,672.5, and then we multiply it by which number, depending on which category you're in. So if you're in moderate, you've got to times your REE by 1.5 times. If you're very active, you've got to times it by 1.725, and so on and so forth. You get the gist. So in this example, our guy is he's very active. So he has to multiply his REE, which is how many calories he burns without exercise, and then multiplies that by 1.725. So if we get his 1,672 times 1.725, that will give us his TDEE, which is his total daily energy expenditure. So this is basically all of his calories burnt, including exercise, and that gives us a number of 2,884.2 calories burnt in his days where he's working out. So now, what do we do from here? So now we've got that number, 2,884.2, we're going to round that down to make it easier, so 2,880 calories burned per day. So when he's working out on a normal day, he burns 2,880 calories. So then now how do we work out our macros, so like our protein, our carbs and fats? How do we work that out for him? So we've got to keep this in mind here. This is always good to have in sight so we understand the concept of protein, carbs and fats, because this is important. So these are the calorie values of each macronutrient. So for every gram of protein there's 4 calories, for 1 gram of carbs there's 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat there's 9 calories. In this example, I'm going to show you guys how this guy should maintain weight. So we said before, this guy weighs 70 kilos. His TDEE, his total daily energy expenditure, is 2,888 calories. So following a simple rule a lot of people use online, which is per pound of body weight, you must have 1 gram of protein in order to maintain weight. However, there's a lot more a balanced approach, especially for beginners, to use 0.825 grams per pound of body weight to maintain weight. So what this means is, for every pound of body weight this guy weighs, we must times that by 0.825, which is in grams, to be able to find out how many grams of protein this guy should be having on a daily basis. Like I said, this guy weighs 70 kilos. So in pounds, that's 154 pounds. So we times 154 pounds by 0.825, and that gives us 127.05 grams of protein per day. That means in order to maintain his muscle size, maintain his muscle mass, this guy must be having at least 127 grams of protein per day. Now, that's just the protein. We've now got to get the carbs and the fats involved in calculating this guy's macronutrients. So the rule of thumb is it's different for everyone. So in this example, I'm going to say 25% of his total diet of 2,880 calories is going to be of fat. So what I do here in this equation is to find out how much fat he should be having a day. Is I do 2,880 times 0.25 to find out what 25% of 2,880 is, which gives us 720. That means he's got to have 720 calories per day of fat. And then to find out how many grams that is, we then divide 720 calories by 9, because 9 calories is 1 gram of fat. So therefore, how many 9's going to 720 will give us the amount of how many grams of fat he should be having per day. So 720 divided by 9 equals 80 grams of fat. So far this guy should be having 127.05 grams of protein per day and 80 grams of fat per day. That now leaves us with the carbs. So what do we do here? Okay. So like I said, this example I'm going to be showing you how this guy should maintain weight. So he's got to be eating 2,880 calories to be able to maintain weight, because he's burning 2,880. So if he puts 2,880 back in, he's literally, nothing would have changed. He's going to be able to maintain his body composition. So we figured out the protein, we figured out his fat. Now how do we figure out the carbs? So what we do here is, from subtracting the amount of calories in our protein and fat from our total daily energy expenditure, our TDEE, we then allocate the rest of the remaining calories to our carbs. So finding out what 80 grams of fat is in calories, and finding out what 127.05 grams of protein is in calories, we can then minus that off of the total, which is 2,880, to find out how many calories are left in order to allocate to carbs. So protein, 127.05 grams is 508.2 calories. Fat, 80 grams is 720 calories. Which means, if we add those two numbers together and then subtract them from 2,880, we are left with 1,651.8 calories left over for carbs. And 1,651.8 calories equals 412.95 grams of carbs. And now, how did I work that number out? Well, if you remember in the previous slide here, for every gram of carbs, there's 4 calories. So that means we got to do 1,651.8 divided by 4 to find out how many grams a day this guy should be getting. And that equals 412.95 grams of carbs. So that's a simple way of breaking down how to calculate your macronutrients to maintain weight. There's just an overall example of what the guy's intake should be and how it should look. But in terms of, that's just to maintain weight. In terms of now, how do you alter that to build muscle and how to lose weight? Well, It depends on your goals really, and how quick you want to achieve them. Everybody has different body compositions, so in order to reach your goals, you've got to find out, your body type, find out, calculate the amount of exercise you perform weekly, how vigorous it is. For example, like I said before, is it sedentary, just casual, just walking, or is it very, very, very active? So you're literally working a lot, burning upwards of 800 calories for men or 650 for women. It's altered different for different people. Everybody has different metabolisms, so therefore everybody's diet will be different. But an average rule of thumb, a rough guide to build muscle, you need to be eating 20% more than your TDEE. So for example, if I wanted to build muscle and my calorie intake to maintain weight was 2,880, I need to be eating 20% more than that in order to gain weight, in order to gain muscle, put on muscle. 20% of 2,888, I believe, is 576. So on top of 2,888, I'd need to be eating an additional 576 calories in order to put on weight, and that would roughly come to about 3,456, I believe, 3,456 calories. So that's in order to gain weight. Now to lose weight, it's exactly the same percentage. A rough guide is to eat 20% less than your TDE. So I'd eat 20% less than 2,880 calories in order to lose weight. And say, for example, I was cutting out 500 calories per day. That means over the week, I'll be cutting out 3,500 calories a week, which is roughly losing a pound of fat per week. But like I said, it depends on your goals and what you want to achieve, guys. But one thing people seem to forget to talk about when calculating your macronutrients, it's all well and good being able to calculate them and then being able to, sustain your diet over a long period of time. But after a certain period of time, it's different for different people. Like different bodies adjust differently. But after a certain amount of time, your body's going to adjust. It's going to adapt. So it's going to realize that you're either eating enough to put on muscle, or you're eating less to lose weight. So if it figures out, say for example, you keep eating 20% less than your normal calorie expenditure is, your total daily energy expenditure is, it's going to then adapt and then realize that it needs to slow its metabolism down in order to function properly, meaning that over time it'll adapt and your progress will slow down. That's where you then need to alter calculating your macros again. It shouldn't be major in terms of the differences in calculating them, but things should get higher, things should get lowered, like protein, fats, carbs, in order to help meet your goals. Otherwise your body's going to reach a plateau and you're not going to be able to progress further. But anyway, I hope this video helped you guys, and I hope you can, kill it out there and reach your goals. Hi guys, in this segment of the course I'm going to quickly tell you what you should be eating pre-workout. Now I'm going to jump straight into it, guys, because I get asked this question a lot. And the question is, what's the best snack before working out, and how long before your workout should you eat it? Well, firstly, you should really be asking yourself, do you need to snack? Generally, you don't need to eat before exercise unless you tend to run low on energy during your workouts, or it's been more than a couple of hours since your last meal. And the best time to eat is roughly about 30 minutes before you begin exercise. The best snack is one that combines carbs and protein with an emphasis on the carbs. You don't need a lot of food, by the way. For carbs, you can aim for the equivalent of half a bagel or a large banana. And for protein, you can consider a couple of tablespoons of peanut butter or a small cup of low-fat or non-fat yogurt. And if the fresh food isn't available, that's no problem, guys. You can aim to get supplement bars, and you can buy them in grocery stores, such as you can get your protein bar, you can get energy bars, but you need to be looking, at the content in those bars. You need to be aiming to get around 25 to 40 grams of carbs plus 10 grams of protein per bar, and try and stay away from the fat as well. Look at the fat content, because you don't want to be eating foods that are high in fat or high in fiber. So make sure you stay away from the junk food, because they contain high fat or they're high in fiber, and also warm fluids as well, guys, because they tend to speed through your intestines. And if you're eating this sort of junk or the warm fluids or the high fiber, high fat foods, they tend to upset your stomach as well, and you don't want that during a workout. Eating too much fat can also leave you feeling sluggish. And I've been there, I've had the junk food before going to the gym, and basically your body finds it hard to break down fat. So therefore it supplies your stomach with a lot of blood in order to help digest your food. And when your body's taking away all that blood to its prioritizing all that blood to the stomach to digest that fatty food, and it's taking away a lot of the blood that should be going towards the working muscles, to help transport the oxygen to the muscles to help them work out and get the best out of them. So stay away from the junky food and of course the high calorie snacks if you're watching your weight. Hi guys, and in this segment I'm going to quickly break down what you should be eating post workout. So let's get straight into it. When you exercise, your body will be fatigued and all of its energy will have been used up. So you need to make sure you supply your body with a source of energy like carbs and protein in order to help repair the muscle tissue. A general guideline for when you should be eating after a workout is about 45 minutes, which is a great time to eat after a workout. A lot of people, have different dietary requirements. So that means it might vary for different people depending on your goals and what you want to achieve. So depending on your goals, you need to make sure you're eating the right food that supplies you with the macros that you need to see improvements. For example, if you're a weight trainer and your goal is to increase your muscle size, then your diet's going to predominantly consist of high amounts of protein, a moderate amount of carbs, and low amount of fat. That means for the other end of the spectrum, people who like to do cardio, their diet's going to consist mainly of carbs because they need to replenish their energy that they've burnt in the gym, whether that be on the treadmill, whether they've been cycling, whether they've been doing the rowing machine, whatever it may be, or other cardiovascular endurance exercise that they like to take part in. They need to replenish their energy cells in order to help repair and recover for the next session. Whereas, like I said, with the weight training, it's going to be predominantly protein because they need to supply their body with high amounts of protein in order to stimulate protein synthesis to help their muscles repair and grow new muscle tissue. What I recommend in terms of what you should be eating after a workout is very vague. So for protein, you can have stuff like fish, chicken, turkey, which are all rich in protein. And for carbs, you can have sweet potatoes, whole grain pasta, potatoes, brown rice. These can all help increase your glycogen cells and help you repair your energy cells and get your glycogen back into the muscles to help them function again as efficiently as possible. And the third thing that a lot of people forget about is the healthy fatty acids such as omega-3. Omega-3 can be found in stuff like salmon and mackerel. And what's omega-3 good for? Well, omega-3 is good for stuff like delayed onset muscle soreness. And if you haven't heard of that term, aka DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness is the period in when your body's recovering from a workout and you've fatigued it and your muscle tissues are damaged and it's repairing, and that's when you feel aches and pains in your muscles the next day and you feel really sore. And omega-3 helps with reducing the amount of pain you feel and increasing the recovery time, aiding you to recovery a lot quicker, which is very beneficial obviously. So I highly recommend you look at your dietary requirements, look at your goals before you plan what you should be eating before you work out and after you work out. So in order to get the most effective results possible. And if you don't have access to fresh food like chicken, your sweet potatoes, your salmon, like your 3 macros, then you can get your macros from substances such as protein bars or energy bars, if you will. I talked about in the previous videos about protein bars, getting a good amount of protein in the bars, a good amount of carbs in the bars, depending on your dietary requirements. Energy drinks also help keep you hydrated and replenish electrolytes, keeping you functioning to the best of your abilities and help you repair. And also, obviously, it's a given water, guys. You've got to make sure you're keeping hydrated at all times, even during your workouts, because water is super vital. We're made up of 60% of water, so we need to keep hydrated at all times in order to get the nutrients all around to our muscles around the body and remove the waste and help us, regulate our body temperature and cushion our organs and joints, which is super important when it comes to working out. So make sure you're eating the right foods, guys, and make sure you're planning out what you should be eating depending on your goals. Hi guys, in this segment I'm going to talk about the differences between cheat meals versus cheat days. So how much is too much cheating? Is it better to do a full day cheat or just one cheat meal? Well, I highly recommend you stay away from cheat days. It's important to know the difference between a cheat meal and a cheat day because cheat days can literally undo your whole week of dieting and training. By breaking it down into a cheat meal, you can keep track of how your body's responding to the increased amount of calories. You want to avoid the overspill effect. This would happen in a cheat day because you're going to have an excess amount of bad calories, and therefore it's going to create a backup of sugar in the bloodstream, which will increase the chances of your body storing fat. Now, what are the benefits to having cheat meals? So, 1, they boost your metabolism. 2, it helps keep you strong-minded. And 3, it's great for restoring your body's glycogen cell, increasing your energy, which is good for, preparing yourself for the following week when you've got to get back on your diet. For example, when you're on a weight loss diet, you should consume fewer calories than what your body needs to maintain weight. However, over a sustained period of time, your body will grow used to a low-calorie diet and adjust accordingly, which can lead to a plateau effect. This means your body will reach a stage where you've been giving it a low amount of calories, and it will adjust to that low amount of calories, and then it will slow down the rate of which you want to make progress to lose weight. So your body will just, the amount of calories, if you were giving it 2,000 calories normally, and then on the diet you're now only giving it 1,500 calories per day, your body will adjust that, and that 1,500 will now be the amount of calories you need to maintain weight. Your body's very clever in adjusting and being able to adapt in certain situations. So by having a cheat meal once a week, it can encourage the body to keep burning those calories instead of just adjusting to the lower intake. This leads me to the last question. When should you eat a cheat meal? The best time to eat a cheat meal is on a training day. If you have a cheat meal on a rest day, you're more likely to store that fat, because on a rest day you burn a lot fewer calories than what you do on a training day. So therefore, if you have a cheat meal on a training day, you give yourself the chance to burn a few of those extra calories off when you're in the gym working out, whether it be at home, whether you're doing cardio, whether you're weight training, whatever it may be, and you give yourself that extra chance to burn those calories off that you would have eaten from that cheat meal. One thing I highly recommend is make sure on your cheat meal that you're still getting your macros, your fats, your your proteins, your carbs. Make sure you're getting the macros you need in there. I'm not saying get them in on that specific cheat meal. I'm saying make sure you get them in that day still. It doesn't mean you can go off track in terms of your macros. It means you can have a cheat meal to release the stress from being on a strict diet. So make sure you get, if you're meant to be on 140 grams of protein per day, make sure you're still getting that. Make sure you're still getting, if you need 60 grams of fat a day, make sure you're still getting that 350 grams of carbs a day. Whatever it may be for your specific diet, guys, make sure you're keeping track of your macros still, and you're still getting that in, because your body still needs that to progress and get the results you want. Hi guys, in this segment I'm going to quickly talk about my supplement recommendations. So let's get into it. So firstly, my first supplement recommendation would be protein shakes. They're great for supplying your body with an extra dose of protein to use for muscle growth, and they're super convenient. I only use protein shakes after the gym and when I wake up in the morning, because my body would have been starved and it is in need of protein in order to help continue repair and develop. I highly recommend you do your research into, there's many different protein shakes out there. There's different ones that provide a different amount of protein, different amount of carbs. So there's many different things according to your dietary requirements. So you need to do your research in your protein shakes if you're considering getting one. My second supplement recommendation, my last supplement recommendation, is creatine. Creatine is a molecule that's produced naturally in your body. It provides energy for your muscles and other tissues. However, if you're taking it as a dietary supplement, it can increase muscle creatine content by up to 40% beyond its normal levels. So this affects your muscle cells during exercise, performance, and promotes muscle gain. In fact, a large amount of research online shows that creatine improves muscle strength. So this is good news if you're looking to gain muscle, because greater strength allows you to perform better during exercise, leading to larger increases in muscle mass over time. But like I said with the protein shake, there's many different things out there, guys, different creatine supplements. So you need to do your research. So the bottom line of my supplement recommendations is that supplements can't provide you with maximum weight gains if your nutrient and exercise programs are seriously lacking. So don't think that by just taking supplements and not being on a diet, guys, you're going to achieve your goals. I'm not saying that at all. Supplements just help you get to your goals, because they help the recovery process, fasten up a little bit. So make sure you're eating the correct amount of calories, the macros you need in order to, get your goals, and don't rely on supplements as an easy way to get, to achieve your goals, like I said. And the most important disclaimer I must throw in there, Do your research on your supplements before taking them. You don't know what are in them, so don't just take it for my word and go and grab a protein shake that you see online, or creatine that you see online, whatever you can get. Don't do that. Do your research into it, guys. These are just 2 supplements that I recommend that I use that help me in order to repair quicker and provide me with more energy and provide my muscles with more protein in order to reach my goals a tiny bit quicker. Hi guys, in this segment I'm going to talk about how to get amazing abs. So let's jump straight into it. There are many exercises that will help get you amazing abs. So here's a few examples that are good for your core. Stuff like crunches, leg raises, yoga ball crunch, the cable crunch, the plank, the cycle crunch, and many more. These exercises are great for activating your core and help activate all of your abdominals. As well as these exercises, there are great methods you can find online for ab workouts, which include rest time and work time. And you're probably wondering why I haven't talked about that yet. However, this video is not about that. This video is how to get amazing abs. And what is the secret to getting amazing abs? Well, it's simple. Abs are made in the kitchen, guys. There are far too many videos and articles on the internet that claim by doing an ab workout for 4 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever it may be will help you see all of your abs fully ripped and shredded. That's simply not the case. Remember, abs are built in the kitchen. You can do all the ab training you want, which will help strengthen your core and potentially increase their size so they become stronger. But if they are covered in body fat, then you have no chance in seeing them. Everyone has abs. Some smaller than others, but you need to have a low percentage of body fat to see them. The percentage varies for everyone slightly, but the general guideline is to have 10% or less of body fat to see all of your abdominals. Don't fool yourself and think that you can perform exercise constantly that will help them appear more defined. You need to be on a strict diet to help get you down to that magic number of 10% body fat to start to see your abs, guys, clearly. Hi guys, in this segment I'm going to talk about should you be following a workout program. So let's jump straight into it. So should you be following a workout program is a question I get asked way too much. And the simple answer to the question is yes. By following a workout program, you allow yourself to be able to keep track of your goals and your workouts. What I mean by this is you can keep an eye on the weights you're lifting at the gym or how many reps you're performing of each exercise if you're training at home. This is crucial to keep track of these things because it will allow you to make progressions that are needed to help reach your goals. If you don't have a program in place, then you also cannot apply the progressive overload principle, which I've talked about in a previous segment in this course. If you don't know what you've been doing, then how can you increase the difficulty? You simply can't. There are many workout programs that you can find online that are easy to follow, and there are some for losing fat and there are some for building muscle, whatever your goals may be. There are different training methods also, like what we talked about in a previous part of the course of hypertrophy training and strength training. Getting back on topic here, you need to have a program in place in order to succeed. Otherwise, you'll have no sense of direction and you'll be playing a guessing game and not have a clue on what you should be doing it, how you should be doing it, and if you need to alter it in order to move forward. So to conclude this topic, guys, make sure you follow a workout program that suits your needs so you can have a sense of direction in order to be able to follow to use as a stepping stone to see your own progress and help you to achieving your goals. Hi guys, in this segment I'm going to talk about my 5 overall general health tips. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so tip number 1, think positive and focus on gratitude. What do I mean by this? Well, research shows, guys, by having a healthy positive attitude, it helps build a healthy immune system and helps boost your overall health. Your body believes what you think, so focus on the positive and stay away from the negatives. Tip number 2, exercise daily. Now we all know, or we all should know, how important exercise should be, and we've probably been told that we should be exercising more, or start exercising. But did you know that daily exercise can help reduce all of the biomarkers of aging? This includes stuff like improving eyesight, improving lean muscle, normalizing blood pressure, lowering cholesterol, and improving bone density. So if you want to live well and live longer, you must exercise. Studies show that even a minimum of 10 minutes of exercise per day makes a difference. So do something about it, guys. Go to the gym or go for that jog or take your kids to the park. Do something. Get something done every day. A minimum of 10 minutes at least can make a huge difference. This moves me on to my third point, sleep. Now we already had a segment of sleep in this course and the importance of it, but it's got to be in my 5 overall general health tips. It's so important, guys. I can't stress it enough. Make sure you're getting at least 8 hours of sleep per day. Your body needs it to function in the most efficient way possible. No sleep equals feeling lazy and feeling lethargic, and you don't want that, especially, if you're on a diet or if you've got a workout program, because it can have a huge effect on that. Tip number 4, using food over supplements. Supplements are not a good substitute for a good diet, guys. Although there's many health experts out there that recommend taking multivitamin and mineral supplements that provide 100 to 200% of your recommended daily value, each and every supplement should be carefully evaluated for purity and safety. Specific supplements have been associated with toxicity, reactions with medications, competition with other nutrients, and even increase of risks of disease such as cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. So make sure you don't use supplements over a good diet. And our last tip number 5, is getting adequate rest time. There's so many people out there who say, I spend countless hours at the gym doing cardio or weight training. I never seem to gain that weight. I never seem to lose 10 pounds. It's a common complaint I hear from my clients. Give yourself permission to shorten your workout. Believe it or not, overtraining could be the problem. Your body can plateau, meaning it can flatline, if not given adequate rest to restore itself. Ultimately, this will lead you to a decline in performance, feeling fatigued, feeling moody, having a lack of enthusiasm, depression, and increased cortisol, which is the stress hormone, if you didn't already know. So creating a program, that suited you, that provides you with adequate rest time, is absolutely vital in order to help your body recover and repair and reach your goals.